Together we'll reach the sky, knowledge shy. Welcome to the age of change. Crypto dreams a brand new range. The future's here, no time to wait. Freedom's calling.
Hello everyone, how are you? It's a great day in crypto land and great day overall, isn't it? Hit that like button, let me know in the chat how you are doing, and then we're gonna get started. I'm gonna talk to you about trading the news and also about the upcoming altcoin surge, which is really an opportunity for you traders out there to make some good moves, but also for you who are investors and who are not necessarily looking at doing short-term trades, but you are interested in buying something at a good rate and then maybe waiting until the top of the bull run is in. And of course, nobody fully knows when that is the case, but we're going to chat about that in this live. So make sure you hit like, you subscribe, and you share if you haven't already. As you may know, we have started the Crypto Alliance, and I just finished 2 days of the first cohort, the founders of the Crypto Alliance, and they have taken away so much knowledge. 2 days full of information. If you want to know when the next available slot is, you have to join my newsletter list. Go to crypto.lifestyle, give me your name and email, and then I will send you gladly a beginner-friendly video on how you can start dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. It is very smart to do. Again, today we're going to talk about trading the news, such as the FOMC meeting that happened yesterday, and also we're going to talk about altcoin surges. All right, we're ready. Here we go. Fantastic. Well, let me tell you one thing. What I want to tell you to start this off is that you're going to learn something very important now. Something very, very important. And that is how to stay safe. Okay. Before we even go into trading the news and talking about the altcoin surge, I want you to know how to stay safe. And thank you, Maria, for your support. You are one of the founders of the Crypto Alliance, and so are you, Lynn, and Baru as well. Awesome. Awesome to see you here. Thank you for joining. So what happens when you get started on your journey in crypto and in trading is that somehow, as you speak about it on social media, somehow people who have malicious ideas try to scam you. And that happens very, very quickly. And today I want to show you one way of how they try to do that very efficiently. For those of you who have seen my video that I did 3 days ago about DeepSeek and how that Chinese AI has essentially created a mini crash in the tech stocks, and then that has swapped over to Bitcoin, which we will also look at that today. But someone must have someone must have seen that video and then have said, well, this Shanghai guy, first of all, he seems to use DeepSeek, and second of all, he seems to also be a trader. So what they do is they put these situations together where they say, if I send them an email now and make it sound like it is very likely that this is a thing, then they will likely fall for it. And I'm about to show you the email that I got just 3 days after I had spoken about DeepSeek here on this platform. And I will tell you, many months ago, actually it was more than a year ago, I fell for a similar scam because I didn't know it yet. And I lost all of a certain crypto that is used to pay in a virtual world. And this is because I was part of that virtual world, that I was actually a member of it. I was told, well, as one of the founding members of this virtual world, we want to give you some mana, which is the coin that was used in there to pay. And I thought that makes perfect sense because number one is I was one of the first adopters, and number two is that I even hold some mana. So for me, it made sense. So I accepted the welcome gift, and instead of getting a gift, my wallet was sucked out. And people don't even know that that is possible. So with the DeepSeek situation, I'm going to share my email here with you so you see what I mean. So essentially, this was sent to me looking very official. DeepSeek, good news. DeepSeek AI officially launched its own crypto token on the Solana blockchain, so on and so forth. They even have a contract address, so you can do some research. And then they say, well, you have first mover advantage, okay? And you can purchase it here and there. Now, this looks like very plausible. Why? Because I actually was one of the very early adopters of DeepSeek. I made a video about it, and very likely, if I went to that contact address, this coin exists. But I'm certain that if I went ahead and bought some of that coin, it would be a pump and dump situation, because they have sent that email to probably hundreds of thousands of people who are not going to think as critically as I am right now. They're going to purchase the coin because people know if I am a first mover, as they say, then I have potential to make a lot of money. It's just that in this case, this would not be an official coin. So in situations like these, this is a huge lesson. And I'm so glad that some of the Crypto Alliance members are here with me live so that they see that you get exposed to this oftentimes. So it's very important to be super skeptical. One of the first things that stood out to me in that email is I went to look at the sender. Always look at the sender. What these scammers can do is they can make the sending name look official, but the real email address cannot look like it's coming from the official domain. Well, it can if the company is very novice and hasn't protected their domain, they can do that. But in 98% of the cases, the scammers won't even bother with that. They'll just use a Gmail or some kind of fake mail. And would you think that a huge enterprise such as DeepSeek, that is so sophisticated, would use a Gmail address to send out this invitation for the coin? No, right? So that is the first indicator usually that really gets 95% of these scams out of the system. Now, what you need though, when you get exposed to such opportunities, because the problem is sometimes the opportunities are indeed opportunities. So what you need is a community to actually go and say, hey, I've been presented with this. What do you think? Can you all take a look? And that is what the Crypto Alliance is for. And if you don't have a community, you might have the chance to join ours, right? It starts by joining the newsletter list. So go to the landing page, crypto.lifestyle, give me your contact information. And then the next time there is a chance to join, you'll at least know, okay? How does that sound? Good? Awesome. Well, let's get into the first topic here. trading the news, the FOMC meeting. What I'm about to tell you is in general true and happens very often. When we have a certain situation in the markets where really there's nothing major impacting it, but there is this important economic meeting that takes place maybe a week ahead or so. What people do, what the market does is they say, well, something could be announced at that meeting that could potentially unsettle the world or unsettle the markets. So I would rather be safe and be in my stable coins, meaning my USDC, my USDT. And then I want to observe the situation. And if I get a positive signal, I can go back into trading my coins. Most people actually have a focus on Bitcoin right now because that is the coin that has the best brand recognition, right? And in crypto, everything as we move forward is really going to be a lot about attention, about market share, mind share, how you can't buy a coin if you don't know about the coin. And that is why that is going to be increasingly important, because it's so interesting, it's so easy these days to launch a new coin. And as a matter of fact, every day, thousands of coins are launched on platforms such as pump.fun, where it is very easy for a novice and very cheap for a novice to launch a coin. That means that the pie gets bigger and bigger, and it is harder for a project or a coin to get allocations in terms of people buying the coin. Don't forget, this is very important. These coins are not just out there for us to buy them and trade them. Well, maybe meme coins are, because they really are just there for giving us a sense of community. But most of these coins, they represent a real world project. It's a way for companies to effortlessly raise capital, work with it, create value, and through that, the coin climbs in value as well, right? So that is really what these coins are all about. So if you want to get serious in trading and investing, it behooves you to at least understand what is this coin about, who has launched it, why have they launched it, what is the function, the utility of this coin. That is very important. So let's look at what happened. As always, the best way to learn about this is to look at charts. So I'm bringing up a chart here, the Solana chart, and we're going to analyze together what was happening pre-FOMC meeting. Okay, so here I have my chart, and date-wise, here we have Sunday the 26th, okay? And then I don't know if you remember what happened over that weekend. Well, DeepSeek was launched, right? And the tech world was a little bit worried, and we had this mini tech crash, okay? So this drop here was somewhat artificially created by this bad news, but I want you to see that we were already on the way down, slowly and steadily on the way down. Why? Because the FOMC meeting, at least the announcement of the results, that was yesterday, okay? So that was on the 29th. So slowly but surely it was on its way down. Oops, here was the bad news about DeepSeek. So it took a nosedive. But then when this bad news happens, usually what is the case is that it finds a lower support level and then it goes back on its original track. Okay, so in this case, of course, a lot of money was lost. A lot of people lost a lot of money in this drop that was because of that bad news with the DeepSeek thing. But then it went back on track. And the reason why it kept going down here, in my opinion, was because of the anticipation of that, the uncertainty of the FOMC meeting coming. Okay, so then you have the actual meeting happening, and there were no rate cuts, but there are also no rate increases. And it was mentioned, Powell mentioned crypto at the end of the meeting. And that was enough to make everybody in the crypto world feel very good. So this green candle here that you see marks the end. See how, I don't know if you see that in the bottom of my screen, probably not, but that was at 6 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. So after that news was released, everybody like kind of takes a breather and it goes back up again. But at the same time, we have this situation where this green candle not only shows the relief of this situation, but it also happens to be the breakout out of this long forming downtrend. Now, a tiny breakout, but it's also close to the tip of this triangle here. And that is why it shows a very important level where traders say, this might be interesting to go in and purchase this coin Solana. Okay. And then what usually happens, I like to explain it that way. We have this breakout, and then the coin tends to do a retest. And I call this the pit stop. Okay. So always plan the pit stop in, because it's going to be it's going to happen most of the cases, not always, but most of the cases. So it is this pit stop is a moment for you to either buy the coin then, because it gives you almost like a second confirmation that this is the evolution that you're looking for, right? That's usually what, or it's just if you are already in the trade here, then you just have to make sure that you don't panic when this happens. The pit stop is what a lot of beginners get very worried about, okay? And then they sell before they ever get a chance for this to happen, okay? So they buy here, and then they sell somewhere in this red area. So because the pit stop could potentially go as low as around here. That would not be necessarily an anomaly, okay? It could do that, and then it could go up like so. Now, it's always important to know what is my stop loss situation. What is the situation where if it goes below this, then my trading theory is basically disapproved, and something else will happen. And in this case, the red rectangle, the lower boundary of that shows that. If you look at it, since January 25th, when this formation has started, really the price has never gone below, the closing candle was never below 227, respectively here, so 228. So you have to ask yourself, where am I comfortable to hold the coin and then enjoy the updrift? Okay, for traders who trade perpetuals, this is important. If you hold the coin as spot, meaning you really own the coin outright, well, then it's a different situation, which is why I really highly recommend for beginners to do that. I like to trade spot, meaning actually buying and selling the coin. I also like the power of trading leverage on those perpetuals, those contracts that really just, you bet on the price movement. You don't really you're never an owner of the underlying asset. So, but you know, the importance is to, when you actually own the coin, it gives you time to let it evolve, to let the price evolve in a manner where you believe if you have conviction in the coin, it will recover, even if my theory was wrong. If you are a trader on perpetuals, you know, you might have to close the trade because you don't have enough margin or whatnot. But if you own the coin outright in your wallet, and you know, I personally, I'm so sure that Solana is a great coin. It is an important platform, an important blockchain, and eventually, inevitably, I believe $500, $600, $700 Solana is in the cards. So if I own the coin spot, I have the luxury to relax. And yes, I see the value of my wallet decrease a little bit, but I also can benefit from the upsurge. So I highly recommend you trade spot and give yourself time until you get more experienced, and then you trade leverage. Now, one thing that I want you also to understand, this is really important when the market influence these coins, what happens because of the name recognition of the biggest coin, Bitcoin, it always gets the impact first. And then Bitcoin influences its brothers and sisters, okay? And the first coin that gets impacted on those big news is Bitcoin, okay? Then the second types of coins are the so-called altcoins, alternative coins. And within the alternative coins, you have, give or take, it's a simplified approach, but you have two main categories. The altcoins who are known, like Solana, like Ethereum, like Ripple, you know, they are in the news. People talk about it. They are within the top 10 or top 20 of all the cryptocurrencies. And then you have more exotic altcoins. So what happens is that first something happens in the traditional world. Then usually the stock market gets impacted. The stock market impacts Bitcoin. Bitcoin impacts the major altcoins. The major altcoins impact the more exotic altcoins. And then, you know, what gets impacted last is the meme coins. Those things that are really highly speculative and what we call in this industry the degenerate projects, right? The degen projects. What is interesting to know also is that the potential of making money fast, like become rich overnight, is higher when you go down that scale, okay? You can make a lot of money overnight in a meme coin trade, but you can also lose a lot of money equally fast, right? Which is why you need to always understand, what is my risk profile? What is my level of experience? And do I want to partake in only Bitcoin, which would be totally fine if you are just a saver in Bitcoin? Or do you see yourself as an investor who is willing to go into the major altcoins, or maybe really more of a degen investor, maybe even trader, who is willing to touch the minor altcoins, the not so known altcoins, and the meme coins, right? So that is very important to know. This is all stuff I wish I had known before I had approached the journey on my own. Now I know it, and that's why I'm telling you, it's so important. You can make much better decisions and protect your capital, take risk management if you know all of those things. The way you know these things is by listening to people like me. I have experience not only now in trading successfully, but I'm also a seasoned business owner. I have studied economics. I have worked as someone fighting financial crime. A well-rounded person, if you will, who is not just a crypto brother, as we call them, but someone who has seen, who has had success, who has his version of the American dream, and now is saying, you know what, I'm going to pivot, and in 2025 and moving forward, I'm going to focus professionally on crypto, teaching people the principles in a language that they understand. And hopefully you have to call me out if you have questions, if I mentioned anything in this live that you have not understood. please take advantage of it being alive and put it in the comments so that I can address it again. Furthermore, if you don't have time to do that right now, join my list, join my mailing list, crypto.lifestyle, because what you get as a thank you for doing so is a free video that shows you in a beginner-friendly way how to start dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. But more than that, you'll stay up to date when there is another opportunity to actually become a member of the Crypto Alliance. The Crypto Alliance being there for you to really walk the journey together. Community, a vetted community, is more important than ever, because you want, if you get an email like the one I got from DeepSeek with the amazing opportunity to now invest into that DeepSeek coin, you need someone where you can go and say, hey, is this thing that I'm blending in here, is it real? It looks pretty real. Should I do it, right? Or should I not? And that's what you get when you join our community. Join Crypto Alliance now. Here's what we're all about. After a short insert, I will talk to you about how I will show you actually on the chart how we can literally see the trickling down effect from Bitcoin to a major altcoin to a minor altcoin. All of that we'll look at together. All right. See you soon. Okay, great for you, still with me. Give me a like, share this video with someone, and don't forget to subscribe. So let's go back into our charts. Those are always, you have to get used to looking at those charts, by the way. Not necessarily if you are a saver who's just dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. I don't think that's the beauty of being a saver and DCAing. But if you are an investor or a trader, you have to get used to looking at the charts, understanding the charts, manipulating the charts. So what we see here is Solana, okay? So, and I've kind of zoomed in. So this here was the, oh, you guys don't see my cursor. Let me actually change that because I want you to see it. That's kind of important for this part. Entire screen. Okay, now you can see it. Okay, so this is the downtrend. Here was the DeepSeek shock, and then we went back. This was the natural downtrend because here we had the FOMC meeting. We have the up, the green candle, and now it's doing this thing that I was calling the pit stop earlier. Okay, so we break trend. We break trend, it goes up and it goes down a little bit. And here's where you need to just know that is normal. It takes a breather and then it goes back up. But what I want you to see is we have the break of trend, then we have a red candle, a green candle, a red, and like we kind of have this little hill here forming. Okay, so Solana being a major altcoin, one of the major altcoins. So that's why I took this trade. This is actually a trade I took. Now I want to show you another chart of the Dogecoin, the coin that where Elon Musk is behind the coin, right? So we're switching to the Dogecoin. First of all, I want you to see it's a very similar chart. Okay, it's a very similar chart. And that is often the case, by the way, that all of these coins look kind of similar. They behave similar. And that is actually good for you investors and traders, because rather than put all your eggs in one basket, well, why don't you spread your investments over the coins that that behave in a similar fashion? Because that also allows you to kind of see if one of your coins don't follow your your theory that you have, your thesis, than maybe others do. Okay. Also, I want you to understand, if you have $100 to invest, okay, here, if you go into Solana, well, you don't even get one sol for $100, because one sol right now costs $239. But if you buy Dogecoin with $100, you get 331 Dogecoin, right? Because one Dogecoin only costs 33 cents right now, around 33 cents. That also means that the movements make you more money. You also lose more money, but that's why people are always so keen on buying coins that don't have a high valuation yet, because the movement, the potential for the upside is much, much bigger. So what I want you to see is that Solana is a little bit further ahead. This is the ripple effect, okay? Bitcoin did it first, and then we have Solana is already kind of on the way of the down path of the hill, right? Whereas Dogecoin is not as far down just yet. And that it's like maybe one or 2 hours behind. And then there's an even more, I'm pretty sure you haven't heard of the algo coin, okay? Because that is one of those minor coins that doesn't have a lot of brand recognition, but it behaves in the same fashion. Do you see that? Well, there's one big difference here, and that is this coin has not started going down yet for the pit stop, okay? So Solana is almost at the base, let's say like about 10% in on the green candle here, okay? Dogecoin, it's about at the same level, but I believe it can go a little bit further. It's pretty known coin. And then the algo coin, I can guarantee you, is a very high likelihood that it will come down to these levels here before it goes back up. Now, why is it important to know these things? Well, it's very important to help you buy the coins at the right time, because that is one of the big mistakes that beginners make. They are impatient, right? So they see this situation and they're like FOMOing, fear of missing out, okay? They're like, oh no, I wish I could have bought at these levels. Let me just buy now. And then what happens? It goes down. First of all, they could have had the chance to get it at a discount had they known that these minor altcoins follow the bigger brothers. And second of all, they lose money because they don't know that it goes back up, right? So in this session here today, I have taught you a few very important principles. First of all, be super skeptical, number one. Second of all, get used to looking at charts. Number three, there's always this ripple effect. Well, often this ripple effect. Real world, number one. Traditional finance, number two, the stock market. Bitcoin, number three. Then major altcoins, then minor altcoins, then meme coins. That, by the way, is also how the money flows. So if you want to trade well, you kind of want to follow the flow of the money, follow where the money is at. And now with this knowledge that very often these minor coins follow their bigger brothers, you know what you have? You have somewhat a little, this is of course all very simplified, is a principle, right? But you have somewhat a way to predict the future. And that is very cool when you trade these coins. It is not quite as simple. This is a simplified principle, okay? Especially if you are trading, you have to be constantly looking at your charts. I spend 3 to 4 hours every day behind my device looking and following the evolution of those trades to make sure that my thesis actually unfolds the way I thought. And if it doesn't, I have time to make adjustments, because sometimes these stop losses They just need to be moved a tiny little bit down, and that saves your trade. But you have to, in order for that to know, you need to really understand what is the situation. Especially if you are not behind your trading software, don't move those stop losses. Stick to your thesis. It is very important to learn to become a good loser, one that loses often, but when they win big. Okay, so placing your stop loss at a predefined level where you are comfortable with losing that amount of your capital, that is what really makes you a good trader. Awesome. I think I covered everything I wanted today. One last call for you to join the mailing list. Go to the landing page, crypto.lifestyle. And I'll also take 1 or 2 more questions if you have them. Happy to take those. I'm going to stay maybe 1 or 2 moments longer. Look at the chat. Don't forget, you can help me by reaching more people, by liking, by sharing, subscribing, all of those things, no matter where you are, on which platform you are. It's really, let me maybe finish this by telling you why I'm choosing to go live every day. I wasn't live yesterday and the day before because I was actually facilitating the boot camp that I was mentioning to you. And you should absolutely consider being part of the bootcamp participants when it happens the next time. Maybe if you are lucky in February. The only way to know about it is to join my mailing list. Okay, so I was teaching that, but the reason why I go live, and it's not easy, it's a skill that you really have to learn, and the only way to learn it is by doing it. It's like staying physically fit. It's like the gym. You know, you have to go, you have to work out, you have to stay in good shape, and if you stop going, you kind of lose progress. It's just unfortunately the thing that it is. But thank you, Maria. I'm so grateful that you are one of the founding members, and we had so much fun during the boot camp, learning so much. Yeah. So if you want to, didn't I just tell you? And here, I'm sorry, I know this is not only crypto related, but it is. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, you know, so I need to tell you this. And it is a tangent to crypto. As I told you earlier, mindshare, brand is very important. People can't buy something if they don't know about it. And we have such a strong emergence of AI that a lot of content now is AI generated, which is good. Okay, the video I'm blending in about Crypto Alliance, 100% AI generated. The theme song that you hear at the beginning and also that will play when we're done, 100% AI generated. But right now, the fact that I'm being live is just honing my skill of being able to convey this in a way where you will really remember it and where you will say, wow, he does this live. I can put questions in the chat if I choose to, and he answers and reacts to it. And he seems to know what he's talking about. So you as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, if you are one, do that as well. It's just so valuable also because it forces you to really try and understand what's going on, stay up to date on your industry. Okay, so I'm closing the parentheses of my small entrepreneurship lesson here. I can't help it. For many years I've been an owner of a marketing agency, and also in last year I spent a lot of time teaching people this stuff. And yeah, so you're welcome. Thank you for your time. Be with us. Let me bring in our theme song of the Crypto Alliance. As I said, 100% AI generated. It's crazy. If you listen to it, it's really good music, given that it was AI generated. And what's interesting is this software, because everybody once asks me, how can I get access to this software? Well, it is only accessible if you know crypto technology, because you need to connect your wallet to it. Most people don't even know how to create a wallet. And we're not talking about Coinbase, which is a centralized wallet. We're talking about an on-chain wallet through ownership and through custody of your assets. Okay, so all of that stuff you learn if you join the newsletter and at some point also join the bootcamp. Thank you for your time and attention right now. Sending you lots of love from San Antonio. This was Shankar Poncelet, live from San Antonio. Bye-bye for now.
Shaping dreams into reality, a movement born in unity. It's the way